blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hello and good morning. If you're the first time being here, I am Courtney. I am the host of According to Courtney. We talk about everything from birth, mental health, and how to fill your cup. I am a full spectrum doula, complete birth nerd, nurse, mom, and a lot of things in between. And today I want to just come and make sure to come in here live and to really just talk because, man, I don't know how y'all July has been, but my July has been eye-opening and awakening in so many ways. Like this shit has been crazy. And I wanted to come in today about like really walking in purpose and what that means and what it is to really stand in your own and do what you're meant to be served to do. So a couple episodes back in April, I had stated, that I was stepping away from birth work due to injury, things like that, and really trying to pivot and moving into a space of doing corporate work. So let me tell y'all, let me break this down to you. First of all, to my corporate baddies, I give y'all like grace in a way that I had no idea. I had heard, especially as a Black nurse, doing corporate and doing those types of things, it's very hard for us to get into these spaces. But I didn't realize how toxic these spaces can be. Like in my case, and I'm fine and open to talk about it now, is that I was the only person that looked like me in my spaces. And I had mentioned that before, but I didn't realize what that meant. Being in these spaces, I can say working in corporate was the most I had ever been depressed and anxious in a very long time. I haven't had anxiety like that since I had severe postpartum depression. And I would be up. I like could not sleep all the time, dreaded going to work and dreaded coming in because of the culture and the environment. I had this boss, when I say this is the nastiest bitch I have ever had to deal with. I always find it interesting when you have corporate white women who think it is okay to talk to you any kind of way. I've had everything from this woman asking me to cook her a pot of collard greens because the way I look, she knew I could, to completely degrading me on emails to people, talking horrifically to me to the point that it made other people in the office uncomfortable. So this had gone on for months. And I'm dealing with that and calling HR and trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, is it me? Do I need to change? I tried shrinking myself. I tried being to a point that I stopped talking and trying to figure out how do I make this? How do I make this work? Because keep in mind, I was told by a physical therapist and a doctor that I can never do field nursing again, nor do births again. So I am trying to fit into this narrative that someone else has given me and trying to be like, okay, God, how do I move through this? Give me the strength to this. And it was interesting just watching myself just turn into this frame of a person. And I noticed the only time I really felt back to myself is that I have two clients who are still with me, who were my last of my original clients. And I doing that, working with them was the only thing that I was like, oh, okay, I feel like a real person. So time goes on and I'm in this and it gets to the week of the 4th of July. And I am at my wit's end. I'm just like, the verbal abuse is just escalating to an everyday occurrence, to everyone in the office, but especially at me. And the week of that, it went from emails to verbal to her pulling me in with her boss and telling him without my knowledge that, oh, well, Courtney doesn't want to go out working out in the field with the community. She feels like she's best suited in the office. And I am looking at her boss and I'm looking at her about this conversation that has never happened between the two of us. I have never agreed to that, because in this type of field, you work in the office, but have the opportunity to go out into the field to do nursing. And when you do that, you make more money. And I'm watching and listening to the click of, oh, this is great. This is wonderful. I'm just quiet. And her boss is like, what's wrong? I said, I need to talk to you on a one-on-one basis. And he's like, really? You don't want to talk about it right now? I said, I don't need to talk about anything in front of her. I need to talk to you. The boss agreed to it and then didn't do it. And then she revved up even more. And I'm like, all right, Path, I need you to light me and guide me in the way of what I'm supposed to be doing. This escalated to her yelling and screaming at me in front of my coworkers in a way that I like being belittled like a child. And I looked at her. I was like, And I made up in my mind right then and there, I'm going to put in my notice of resignation. Here's the deal with me. I never, ever quit a job without having another job. I was raised like that. I don't do broke. I don't know what that looks like. And I was like, I'm going to always make sure that I'm covered so my family is covered. So I'm writing this, putting out, things. And something in me said, wait it out, let it out. But I kept getting signs all over that waiting is not what I should be doing. Like one of them was, we take different types of clients, everything else. I get a call from a hospital about a mother in need who just had a baby, and that she had all these things going on, and we can't go into much detail to HIPAA, but that she was a young mother that was suffering and needing care, and everyone had turned her back on her. And I was in a situation that I realized in the company and the focus that I'm doing, I would have to do so too. So what I did was give resources that I knew in that area that this mom could dive into that were free resources. And the nurse over the phone said, wow, you're the only person who's offered any help. You're really in the wrong field. And I was like, yeah, I see that. And left it alone. Then I kept getting messages from people that I loved that are like, are you really done with birth work? Are you really not walking in purpose anymore? And I was like, no, I'm just taking a break. Will always walk in purpose, but it made me really sit with myself. I was like, well, wait a minute. Am I not maybe I'm not walking in purpose. Maybe I'm doing, in my mind, I was like, I'm doing what is being told to me. I was told that this is not what I can do, and I'm trying to reinvent, reimagine, redo. I'm being told this is where I'm at in life. But something was telling me, is that your purpose? Is that your purpose? Is that really your purpose in life, is to sit and do administration and nursing, and this be it? This is going to be what you do until your days are done. And yes, you have 401ks and Roths and this and that and the other, and great benefits. And that is what, as a goal, as an adult, that's what you should be doing. That's the goal, right? You get into the position, you stay until you retire, you have all these things, which are all very important things to have, yes. But is that your purpose? Kept sitting with it. And the weekend of the day before July 3rd, it was this complete mayhem in our office. We're trying to get everything in for the long, busy weekend. We're working. And she is just on 10. I was working with a trainer who literally told me, hey, you need to watch yourself when I leave today, because she's coming after you. I was like, why? She said, because she's on a tirade and you're her victim right now. And she's really wanting your head. I'm like, for what did I do? She's like, you're unbothered by her. No matter what she does to you, no matter what she says to you, you are unbothered by her. And it bothers her. And this is another white woman telling me this. And she's like, you need to transfer. Once your 90 days are up, you got to go. You need to find somewhere else to be, because even though you'll be amazing where you are in this space, she's going to torment you until you break or you do something that she can hit you with retaliation with. I was like, okay, good to know. Keep this in my mind running through the day, getting stuff done. Do it. And I had to go ask her a question. And I said, okay, I have a question about this. And she's like, what? I said, I have a question about this. She's like, what tone are you using with me? Turn your attitude down and you sit down when you speak to me. I had to look around. I was like, excuse me? She's like, when you talk to me, you sit when you speak to me. Don't you? Because I don't like your attitude. I'm like, all right, then. Okay, cool. All right, cool. And I'm just going in my head, and then all the senses are coming up. It's like, is this your purpose? She talking, I can't even tell you what she said, because I'm just like, in my mind, it's like, is this your purpose? Is this what you should be doing at this point in time in your life? This person is trying to get you. How are you going to show up in response to this? Are you going to fall for the okie doke, or you walk away? I walked away, and it escalated, kept coming to the point that my co-workers are all like, yo, Courtney, I don't know how you're handling this, because we're all uncomfortable. I was like, what are y'all going to do about it? So you're going to call HR? Are you going to do anything? Well, I think we should, but we don't want to get ourselves in trouble. I said, let me let you know something. If she's coming at me like this, look how she's going to come for you, and keep coming for you. Because people like that, I've learned as time goes on, people who are toxic and people who are vindictive and violent and get off on that will continue. It doesn't stop. That's what feeds them. That what feeds their crazy. If you're someone who's got light to you and you move in purpose, people who are miserable need to feed, and they want to feed on your misery, your anxiety, your stress. And it clicked for me. I said, oh, you want me small. You want me not to stand up for myself. You want me to take what you're giving, the lies you're telling, the abuse you're spewing. You're doing it because you see the inadequacies in yourself. And you are doing it to me to make yourself feel better. And I'm not going to allow you to do this to me. And I was like trying to figure it out. How do I do this? How do I do? How do I move? What should I do? How do I go? Well, we go, you have the third, the fourth rolls around. The fourth is off. You're off. I am an hourly employee. I am not salaried. That means you cannot engage with me on my days off to ask me about work. I get text messages. What about this for work? What about this? What about this? I know it's your day off, but I need to know now. Didn't respond. Something said, start writing your letter up, start doing your things. And I was out of the blue hit up by a elder that I really respected. I really respect very much. And expressed to her what I was going through. And she was like, look, you got to leave now. Yeah, leave now. It is not your purpose. I'll find you a job. A job will find you. You need to walk. You got to walk, because you're not walking your purpose. You're walking in danger. And this danger can consume you and consume everything you do. And I cried in a way because I felt heard. I felt seen, and I forgot that's what it is to walk in purpose. All the signs were around me that, no, this is what you're supposed to do. So I left that and went to go see one of my clients, and I love them so much. And we are sitting and we're talking, and it's time to talk about payments. And there's someone that I've had before, and we had worked out a barter system because, I know that they were going through things. And they looked at me and they're like, you know what? We're going to get payment. We'll send you what we owe, the difference. I said, okay, here. Yeah, we can still, I agreed to move and barter. Let's move and barter. And it's okay. I get a text from my bank saying they paid me my full payment. And I just sat and I was like, okay. Okay. So my full payment means that this gives me some pressure off. And not only that, I get a message saying we love and respect you so much, and we want you to know that, and we are so thankful to have you in our space and for you to be with us in our family. And this is the same family I had to come 2 months ago and say, I don't know if I can be there for you. Let me find you another doula. I may be inadequate because I can't physically have physical limitations due to my accident and everything else. And they're like, it doesn't matter. You holding space for us and being in space with us is enough. We just want you for your presence and your knowledge because you have so much to give. And we see you in a way that you don't see yourself. I was like, all right, okay, cool. And I felt something just wash over me of this is your purpose. This is what you're meant to do. This is where you're supposed to be. So reach out to them. And I, like I said, always look for jobs, look for things. And I had reached out for a position working with a family back in pediatrics, which I was told I could never do, and working with a very young baby and a young family that were needing things. And I was like, all right, I'm kind of interested in this. Put a pin in it. And I just sat with myself. And I think people talk about, okay, I'm going to meditate on this, I'm going to pray on this, and don't really do it. I'm guilty of that. I'm like, I'm going to get to it, okay. And then not. And then really, it took me sitting with myself, sitting in prayer, sitting with my ancestors and being like, talk to me about my purpose. Talk to me what I should be doing. Help me have the strength to walk away. Even if it's with nothing, walk away. So Sunday, the day before work, I'm writing, just scrambling, write my resignation, writing. Anxiety's building at first. And then something clicked in me and it felt like a wash of warmth. And someone taking over my hands and writing down from chronological order every horrific thing this person did to me and sending it to HR and sending it to her boss. And preparing myself to go into my job, clean my whole office out, work the whole day plus, and know that putting this behind me. Driving there, it's interesting. We all love Spotify. Spotify will pick up different music and different things that you need. And it was interesting because it's not in my play rotation. It all becomes gospel music. And one of the songs that came on was Patti LaBelle's Walk Around Heaven. And that was a song that really resonates for me from my grandmother and my aunts who have passed. And so they're just literally saying you're walking around heaven and that God is going to protect you. And the next one, lean on me and you'll be blessed. And it just keeps going and going and going. And each song literally kept building on itself like you are safe. You are valued. You're going to be okay. You can do this. Don't be afraid. No matter what happens, know that now you are walking in purpose and that you will be just fine. So I walk into my job. I'm always there early, setting up my stuff. And I look at my emails and there's 50 emails from this woman, going through each one getting nastier to the nastier to the nastiest to the nastiest. No reaction, just because in my mind, I already know what I'm moving into. And then it comes to an email. My coworker walks in and she had sent this email. She's like, Courtney, did you see this? And it literally was an email of her basically saying I was worthless. My work was worthless, that she would not move me through the 90 days and she would not recommend me, and that I am a failure in this office and my failures affect everyone else. And she sent this to every person in our office, sent it to my trainers, anybody affiliated with me, and saying, you can't run from me. You have to deal with me, and I decide your fate. She sent this email at 7:17. Let me tell you something. I was out that piece by 8:23. I read it, and all I could do was smile and say, this is all I needed. And I waited literally for my coworkers to walk in and say, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Thank you for your time. Like, where are you going? I said, I'm leaving. Like, right now? Yep, I'm leaving. Do you have a job? Nope. Do you have a backup plan? Yeah, to walk in purpose. And my purpose is not here. I don't need to do that. When I tell you, I packed up my office so quick, gave hugs, gave love and admiration to say, I'm out. Peace. Didn't say 2 words to that lady. I sent that, the emails, the texts, and everything to HR and her boss, which I had already called HR that morning to let them know I knew I would be walking into a toxic, retaliative space. When I tell you, I went home, changed clothes, and just literally took it to the water and sat and worked and moved. My elder that I spoke with, she thought she had a position for me, and it fizzled. It didn't work out. I didn't stress. I didn't do anything. I rested and said, okay, what's next for me? I went to the ocean and swam, and I hadn't swam in the ocean in a long time, and sat with God and said, you tell me what my purpose is. You tell me what I should be doing. That same week, that's a Monday, that Tuesday, I went to see my client, got into it and said, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. Then got a phone call from the job that I wanted and said, we want you, and could you start with this family, and what could you do? And I was very upfront. I was like, look, I only will work 3 days a week. I want to be paid at this amount of time, and I will only work these days. If they love it, love it. If they don't, that's okay, because what is meant for me, I'll do when it's time. They're negotiating back and forth. Well, they want this, they want this. I was like, okay, all right. I said what I said because I'm walking in purpose, and there's no other option that I could do but be me and do what I'm supposed to be, because I know that I'm being led not only by God, but by my ancestors, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do because I feel the pull and the press of no pressure. None. No pressure. I was like, okay. I had to think about it. I said, you know what? You good. You all your bills are paid. Things are done. Things are coming apart. Nothing's coming apart. They are unfolding. So you have space to do what you need to do. I was like, all right, bet. I did that. Then went in for orientation of my job, did it. They offered me exactly what I wanted, left there and went straight to a home birth. With, when I say, one of the most magical, powerful home births I've seen in a very long time. And it's something beautiful to watch. And as to my other birth nerdies, you get it. When you watch someone you love, like your child or like your sister, rise above and have such a beautiful family, and watch them do their greatness, to use their own body and their own strengths and their own things to be able to move their own mountains to bring life into the world, is nothing like it. And that I kept thinking, if I was at my corporate job, I wouldn't be present for this. I would have missed some of the notes, or that particular boss would have done everything to try to fire me or to ruin me or to make this situation not be positive against me, and me not having to be there for it. So I got to fully be immersed in that position to help and to do and to watch them do that, and how beautiful that was. And then to go to a graduation full of midwives right afterwards that I admired. I got to see a midwife that I love very much and have been worked with very closely over the years, and got to tell her things that I really had on my heart to say, and to get the blessings from her, because I had not spoken to her since I had dropped out of midwifery school. And even a little longer than that. And I was able to share my fear, my embarrassment, my hurt that I thought she would have towards me because I had failed in my mind. I had failed. I didn't do birth work. I didn't make midwifery school. I couldn't make it work. I had to put my family first. And for her to tell me that I did the right thing. She's like, you followed your path. Your path will lead you where you need to do. She's like, you have helped build a legacy and you need to see that. And to have her then, introduce me to these brand new midwives, and to say this person has built the way and paved the way in her area because she loves what she does. And she's always walked in her purpose, and what great things have come from that. And that did something for me in my heart to be like, yes, you are on the right track. Yes, these are the things that you should be doing. Yes, don't give up. Yes, keep going. So keep in mind, this was my first rerunning that I said I had just done a home birth that day. This was my first birth since my accident, since I was told I could not do, I will not be able to do, this part of my life is broken and gone, and that I did it. Not only did it did it in a way that I was able to move and bend and be just like I always have been, but also being able to listen to myself and sit and hold space and move through, and felt no pain at all. No flare up of my arms, neck. I was afraid my body would give out, but I trusted my purpose. I trusted my body, and I trusted my client. And we were able to move through it. The next day I rested. Slept all day, off and on, slept and came, to sit and to be present and admire what my family had done and what I had done for myself, and felt great about that. And I was like, okay, walking in purpose. And I say all of that to say, I know a lot of times we doubt ourselves, or we feel like if we don't hit the norm, what is norm for someone else, therefore you are failing. Or if you try something and it doesn't go through, that you just means you quit. We have seasons for everything. And I think for me, it was, almost 6 months ago, was my season to stop, my season to listen, my season to heal and to rest, and to pour all that time into myself by getting physical therapy, stopping everything, cutting the stuff out so that I could be better. I could grow. Even going into corporate, it taught me humility. It taught me patience. It taught me some patience. And it taught me to see people and to move in a way that it does not have to be blunt, but it can be effective. And that what doubting yourself can really look like, and how doubting yourself can be detrimental. And when I say detrimental, I want you guys to understand how powerful the mind is. The mind will trick you and make you think that you're small and that you're nothing, that your body will physically do. Your mind will start to cloud judgment and not believe anything that it's able to say. Will start to feel like I am inadequate. I am not enough because everyone around me is telling me so. But then you need to listen to the voice in yourself and say, but why are you telling me that? Why is this happening? Why is that showing up in this way? Why would someone come with you with that unless you have greatness to give that they just don't want to be tapped? So I'm going through this awakening of like, ooh, oh my goodness, everything is kind of coming into fold. And then I said, what do I want to manifest? What am I going to do? What am I manifesting? And I sat down and made a list. I said, you know what? I'm going to manifest that I am going to make this amount of money. I got no job yet. I'm signed up to do this job, but who knows when this one's going to start. I need to manifest this amount of money and this amount of time. And I had put a dollar amount. I said, okay, I need to make at least almost 5 G's. I need to make 10 in the next 2 months. How is this going to happen? Keep in mind, signed up for a job, haven't started the job. Left and just left. Didn't know how's it going to come, what's going to come, whatever. All right. you know, got full price pay. Wonderful. Boom, that's one. Then what am I gonna do? Wasn't worried about that. I just said I just need to find it and it's gonna come. This is what I'm looking for. I need to manifest this amount of money. I want to find the job that is for me. And then I want to work in my purpose and spread the purpose and do the speaking and do the work so that I know that I'm doing what I need to do and I want to get paid for it. And I just put that out there in the ether. And it was like, all right, this is what I need to do. This is what I want to do. I'm going to do it. How is going to come? Not, and I never questioned like how, but like when. What do I need to do to just let it come and let it flow? So at this point right now, it's a really good time. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We're going to do our music and listen to that because I want to, share with you how real manifestation really is when you fully are in it. So I know Troy's going to pop himself up here and do his.
Yes, indeed. Very, very interesting stuff. Thank you for sharing that. For those who don't know, we are also playing on the Blast Radio 247, where we're the champion of independent music. You too can break out your favorite browser, type in blastradio247.com, and our music player will pop up, and you'll hear music from all around the globe. But most of all, you get to find some music you didn't know if you liked, and we'll be surprised that you end up liking it. So I'm going to tell you, amazing, amazing artists that are through Blast. And also, if I'm gonna go ahead and do this now, if you are a independent artist or a spoken word poet or up and coming comedian that's looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans. So if you're a fan of great music, you too can also go to blastmusic247.com, register as an unlimited fan, and have access to hundreds of independent music. And Blast, or here at Blast, we are changing the industry one artist at a time. Alrighty, so all of that, we're gonna have one of our artists. She's been here almost primarily since the start. Her name is Demi Day, and this song is called Air. Let's check it out.
All right.
Hands in the air, hands in the air. Hands in the air, we beat the odds. Mental pause in a rhythm without applause. I applaud greater gods, ones that created us in the dark. So now we blacker than, blessed with this blacker skin. And trust me, we living so all this black can win. Pushing again, so you know we tapping in. Don't speak if you don't know what's happening. Demi got up on the mic and rapped again. Messiah, whoever, you know we back again. No more practicing. We been beating the game like Michael Jackson and got 5 on it like Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Jackie. Then I ain't even wanna look back, I'm just rambling. Mind be traveling so many places, can't keep track of mental races. I just scramble through these spaces. Quarterback maneuver, gridiron pen, eke never think give you something smoother. All these lessons I learned, I could be a tutor. I am legend in front of the shooter, and I can hear the world screaming. Hands in the air, hands in the air, and I can hear the world screaming. Hands in the air, hands in the air, and I can hear the world screaming. Hands in the air, hands in the air, and I can hear the world screaming. Hands in the air, hands in the air, and I can hear the world screaming. And I can hear the world screaming.
All right, that's our girl Demi Day with Air. So again, check out blastmusic247.com, where all these amazing artists are from. All right, back to you, Miss Courtney.
Thank you. See, Troy be knowing. He be putting the right music in there, and that air was just what we needed. Air, we forget about that. Like I think sometimes we take breathing for granted, And that, especially in birth, we say your air, what the air you bring in makes a difference. So like when you're in active labor and it's time for you to transition over, your breathing changes. It becomes, you need to slow your breathing down. You need to make sure that you're fully breathing your lungs in so you can push that baby out. And if you're just joining us today, hello, I'm Courtney West. I am the host of According to Courtney. And today, our subject has been walking in purpose. And to recap, it's basically me saying, I was at corporate, I was doing it, it was abusive, it was crazy, and I walked out July 7th, done, out. No having an idea of where I could do job wise, but did not bag a job yet. Anything, the one job I thought I had, it fell through. And I was like just walking in purpose, did this birth that was absolutely amazing, fed my soul, home birth. And I manifested, hey, I want to make about 10 stacks in 2 months. That's what I want to do. And here I'm just open to let it be and let it flow. So from doing this, post that, affirmations or all the things and that how I just love doing birth, I start getting messages. One message I got from a colleague who's becoming a friend is saying, yo, I got this grant money and there's a speaking engagement that we need to do and we want you to do it. And I know we don't move without money. I said, you're right. I want to do that. I said, cool, I'll do it. But I want to bring, great people on and I want to make sure that they're paid too. And then it manifested and came true. Like, bet you want it, how much? Cool. Gave them a number, went and ran and got it. Loved it. Then I get a call from another client and someone I've known from who's known me and watched me through my growth reach out. It's like, hey, I'm pregnant. I want to have you and I want to pay full price for you because I know you're amazing and to have your time is wonderful. And are you just taking births? I'm like, I'm taking select people that I really connect with and who connect with me and honor me and how I need to move in my space. It's like, cool, would you go with this? Boom. Oh, okay, wonderful. So now I'm sitting here in awe, like, whoa, I just did this. No problems. Then I get another phone call. Hey, I'm going to give birth in a couple of weeks. And could you do my placenta? Because a lot of people don't know that I do placenta encapsulation. I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm just like, look at this go. So I had just, keep in mind, left my job, left everything, didn't know what was going to happen next. And then all these things start just manifesting in when I tell you my job that I'm like, hold up, I only work these amount of hours, yet you paying me the full amount that is owed to me plus for work. And I thought, oh, that's very interesting. So therefore, that's all right. That's that amount of money right there, plus that other birth. Okay, that's right around there. Plus that. Oh my goodness, that's $5,400 right there. Whoa. That happened in literally 4 days, just back to back to back to back to back to back, fall in line. I was just like, whoa, okay, this is really real. This is really, we really doing this. And I just gave thanks and kept moving in this space. I said, okay, what's next? Went, got the job, got the hours I wanted, got the pay that I wanted, met with them, and just the most lovely group of people. Lovely as family, walking in purpose and doing what I love to do the most, because I was very specific when I asked about it. I said I wanted a child, a very young child that I could assist through their transitions and help as a peds nurse, and I got that. And just full of love and full of hope and full of so many things that I didn't realize I still needed and to pour in, and that I was walking in purpose. I could pour into them just as more as they could pour into me. So keep in mind, I didn't start work again until Wednesday. Everything else has just been manifesting, just happening, that I could focus solely on nothing but birth work. And everything that I touched turned to gold. And that I was like, yes, this is what walking in purpose looks like. This is what manifestation looks like. That you can do anything, and words are powerful. What you say to yourself makes a difference. Because if you believe in yourself and the Most High, anything can be accomplished with that and hard work. And it was beautiful how things were showing up from the midwives that I love dearly speaking life into me, to my elders coming to me and saying that they see me and that this is not the struggle that I have to walk, to me seeing myself and giving it over to the Most High, and to be able to go to my ancestors and be like, please just watch over me and my family, and that everything that I said that I would do, I could do. Fast forward to this week, which has been a phenomenal week. I've been able to manifest the things that I needed to do, manifest the monies I needed to do, be allowed to let my child be able to travel the way that she needed to do, because I was afraid about that. We had planned a trip, hadn't been able to pay for it yet because I was so scrambling about everything else. Was able to pay for it, send her off with money, with stacks to go do what she needed to do and live her life. Was able to get my little into a space and in a new school, in a private school environment that she needed, and get her full ride scholarship plus. These are things that if I was in that space, you couldn't do. So sometimes when you have losses, you don't realize the blessings that it will open up for you. If I was still working the way that I was working, I wouldn't have had the time to be able to do these things that I needed to do for my family. Make sure to make the moves for myself to continue to help me flourish, because I wouldn't have had the emotional or mental capacity to be able to do it. I just would have been like, my anxiety is too much, my depression is too deep, I don't see myself, I can't follow through because I'm not fully there. But to walk away and to wash away, I hadn't felt so that clear and that pure and that purposeful in many years of just like, nope, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. And it's manifesting and it'll be beautiful, and I'm going to be where I needed to be. So to start doing that manifestation and not even literally 2 weeks later have half of what I asked for in my lap, like, here you go. Keep walking, keep pushing, keep going, because you are on the path that you need to be on. So I say this to say, yes, I am open to births. Yes, I am doing placenta encapsulation. Yes, I am doing speaking engagements. And yes, I am going to continue to walk in my purpose, because that is what I am meant to do. And that I encourage all of you to move in your purpose. Don't worry about what the next person says. Think about what you say and listen to the sounds. Listen to them, to the world around you, because if you listen, it will tell you, hey man, you're not doing what you need to be doing. Hey, this, you're not really happy, and it shows. Your body keeps score. Listen to your body. So now, yes, I'm back out here doing work, but I listen to my body differently. I listen to my body when it says it needs rest. I listen to my body when it says go to sleep. I listen to my body say we're going to nourish ourselves this type of way. I listen to my children when they said you have to stop, that we are needed and that we come first. I listen to my clients who see me and appreciate me and tell me that I'm doing good work. I listen to it's interesting to be in a new environment and just being there. It's like, we need more nurses like you who are passionate, who are great with their jobs, and who love what they do, and that their patients love you too. Sometimes you have to really give yourself some grace so you can get grace, and speak grace inside yourself so others can see that grace in you. So all of that is in your hands. You can change your world. You can change your thought process. You can make anything happen. So yes, I had set myself up to do certain things, but also sometimes you just walk out on faith. And faith is so important. And faith is your healer. Having faith can bring you from The depths of nothing to the highest of highs. So I implore all of you to have faith in yourselves because I have faith in you. I see you. You may be struggling. You may be thinking, how am I going to make the next meal? How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to do this? You can do it. You believe in yourself and trust in yourself. You will find a way. I'm all about the legal ways. So we talk about legal ways to get it done, but you will get it done. And you will handle what needs to be handled because that is what we are here to do. Because someone else will see you on your path and in your journey and say, I want to help you. Or you will touch into your gifts. If you're good at making candles, go out there and be the best candle maker you make, even if it's just your side gig, but you're charging $10 a candle and you notice all of a sudden you have an abundance of, I'm going to really do this and see what it does. And then you sell out 200 candles. Start. Or if you have a gift of healing, heal. What does that look like for you? But make sure what you're doing is healing you as well. Because I feel like that's the difference. When you're moving in a healing space, but you're also pouring into yourself, it makes it so you're greater to pour into others. I'm thankful that I was able to pour into a group of creative women that we are all going to be able to do gig and speaking engagements and get paid our worth. That's unheard of sometimes, especially when you're doing stuff for Black maternal health. It is so hard to get paid your worth because in these society spaces, they think it's okay to take your knowledge for free. And me being comfortable enough to say, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're going to give you what we can give you, but you will pay us what we are worth. And to stand on that and to have that happen, be beautiful. So I want you guys to stand on your worth, stand firm, stand tall on what you are doing, and know you got this. You can do it all. You can do anything. Do not let anyone take that from you. And when people do, don't let them try to steal your shine. And I even want to take time. Let me thank that little raggedy ass boss I had. Thank you, raggedy ass bitch. Thank you so much for being raggedy. You know why? Because your raggediness reminded me of how great I really was. Thank you for trying to break me and making me feel small. Thank you for doing those things so that I could really look and focus on my own greatness. I did that. But I take sometimes to be moved and shaken and uncomfortable to do it. So like I explained to people, gems come from pressure. You got to take a lot of pressure to make something beautiful like a diamond. And I needed some pressure to emerge into what I needed to be. So now that I feel like I am walking in purpose, once again, I'm open to it. And I am super excited for what is going to come. We are going to, upcoming having some amazing guests. We always have amazing guests, but some amazing guests and amazing people who want to share their stories and be up there and be on platforms and share the great things that we're doing. And I'm here to do it. And I'm excited to do it and excited to take on clients who want to see the value in me and to honor myself and not taking too many and honoring my prices and honoring my space, but also honoring the work that I'm wanting to give, honoring what I want to do differently and seeing what that journey is. So I know I usually do a full hour, but today, not. I'm going to finish up here because I got to go see a client and make sure she feel loved, heard, and respected. And then I need to go play a placenta from another client who needs to feel loved, heard, and respected. And just keep on manifesting, keep on doing, and keep on living in purpose. And then I need to come home and spend some time with my little. So I say all of this that I want you guys to have an amazing day and know that you are loved, you are seen, you are heard, that you can be your motivation. You can believe in yourself and change your world and your trajectory. So when anyone who tries to tell you this week that you can't and you're not worth it, come back and re-listen to this because you are worth everything. And if from your mouth to God's ears, you can make anything happen. All right, you guys, be blessed and have a good week. Until next time, take care.